I'm Evan Pesdick. Welcome to Sketchy Point of View, where I blend art and intellect on a video canvas in order to bring my sketchy perspective to life. Today I'm going to talk to you about Diet Coke. Diet Coke is sketchy, and not in a good way. I've been a compulsive drinker of the stuff for the last 20 plus years, and I don't mean like a little bit, like 4 to 6 cans a day. I quit, you should too, and I'm going to talk to you about that. I started drinking Diet Coke after the birth of my first child. I gained 50 pounds with that pregnancy. It was the first time I'd ever gained a significant amount of weight, which is normal and expected with any pregnancy. I was not shocked by that, but it was also the first time that I actively had to pursue losing a significant amount of weight, and that was new. And don't go getting all body positive on me right now and saying, it's okay, why do women feel pressure to stay thin, blah, 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 blah.
I'm under enormous pressure.
I didn't feel pressured. I've been fit most of my life. I enjoy doing crazy gymnastics-y like things. And
Mary Lou Retton winning the gold.
it's my sport, it's my love, and I prefer to do it in a body that's leaner and has a high strength to weight ratio. It makes it safer. And makes it more enjoyable for me. So no, it wasn't societal pressures that were putting me there, and we're not here for that. My goal when my kids were born was to be doing gymnastics when they're doing gymnastics, and I'm 46 now.
46.
And so now my new goal is to be doing gymnastics when my grandkids are doing gymnastics. There are things I want to do, and if I want to do them, then I have to take care of myself. Enter stage left, the flawed concept of counting calories. I thought I found a perfect way of cheating the whole system. I could drink sweet things to excess and have like no impact on the scale, at least that's what they told me. That little non-truth though kept me compulsively swimming in the stuff for like 20 plus years. The marketing on it was highly effective. I bought into every word. I could have single-handedly kept Coke in business while my kidneys and liver were paying the bill every day. So why quit? Well, because at some point your body will expose the lies that you've been telling yourself. When you start gaining weight because of it, having brain fog, feeling anxiety, and just the emotional instability, which I know sounds weird, but it's a thing. There's a long list, but the point is that I wasn't cheating the game, and my body was showing the evidence of it. So what's so bad about this stuff? The chief offender here is aspartame. Diet Coke has been wearing a health halo since its creation. It was supposedly the healthier alternative to sugar-laden Coke. And I keep saying Coke, but really it's all diet sodas apply here. We're talking about all of them. They might have some different artificial sweeteners, but they all have their problems. And even stevia, you're gonna say stevia. What about stevia? Even stevia, because we're not talking about stevia leaves. We're talking about this powdery gunk that they call stevia now, but it's just not. Studies show that you will get just as fat drinking Diet Coke as you will drinking regular. In fact, maybe even more so.
So Americans can get fatter.
It contributes to insulin resistance, increased appetite, glucose intolerance, type 2 diabetes, altering your gut microbiome, and it messes with your sciatic nerve. Does this sound like a product that you should make a part of your weight management strategy? If your goal is getting fatter and losing your mobility, then yeah, this is the stuff. That's the product for you. They should put that on the ad. I wonder if I should put that on the ad. I should redo the ad. Should I redo the ad? Totally. But weight gain is the least of the problems associated with this. Weight gain is typically an early warning sign that you are not well.
I don't feel so good.
Be it because of your own bad habits or a slowly developing underlying condition that you're just unaware of. It's your early warning system.
Warning. Warning.
You should honor it. You should pay attention to it. Find out what's causing it and make changes. And I know I mentioned weight, and I'll be talking about other aesthetics like tooth decay, and I think it's worth noting that despite the current non-reality based narrative that you can be healthy at any size, beauty standards and health quality have always been linked. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's not designed to make every woman hate herself. Back to what I said about the early warning system. If you're getting fatter and your teeth are rotting, you're doing it wrong. It doesn't mean you have no value as a human. It doesn't mean you're ugly. Take responsibility and fix yourself. You have this control. You can do it.
I know you can do it.
Some of the conditions to be aware of that are associated with drinking Diet Coke are cancer, toxicity of the liver, kidneys, stroke, dementia, erosion of the tooth enamel. Something I recently learned was preterm delivery is also on that list. Yep, your babies hate that stuff too. This stuff causes anxiety in mice. But the funny thing is, not just the mouse that ate the stuff. In mice models, the changes in the brain of the mice actually get passed down to 2 generations of their offspring afterwards. So back to that preterm delivery, yeah, babies are just running away from the stuff in the womb.
Get me out of here!
So there are tremendous benefits to quitting. You will have better energy levels, digestion will improve, your moods will stabilize, mostly because you won't be running around trying to get your supersized Diet Coke in every freaking drive-thru like an addict anymore. So how do you quit? I don't know. I don't know how you quit. I tried a bunch of things and some worked, some didn't. All I can say is what worked for me and what didn't work for me, and you can figure out what works for you. Moderation was not a path to success for me. It was a short trip to depression and anxiety. I would say more like anxiously waiting all day for the chance to get my arbitrarily measured dose of my once daily Diet Coke. The bottom line is Diet Coke was a trigger to not just drinking more Diet Coke, but also like eating a bag of Funyuns and a box of maple brown sugar Pop-Tarts, because now I'm only craving things that come in bags or boxes, not actual, true, real food. I want to pair my drink-like substance with an equally non-nutritive food-like substance. What did work for me was pretty extreme. Personality-wise, I kind of live in the extremes. If I decide to do something, I am all in. I'm an all-in kind of person. I do it all the way, or I don't do it at all. So for me, the answer was just cold turkey with a side of absolute fasting.
That seems extreme.
Fasting is going to be one of those things that maybe some people have questions about. And when I say absolute fasting, I mean no food, no water for a specified length of time. So how did I do it? I was driving from Virginia to San Diego pretty much in like one shot, where we're taking turns every 3 to 4 hours, taking a nap, waking up, blah, 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 blah. But before we left Virginia, I had decided that I was just done for good. I wanted it more this time than any other time when I tried to quit. My mind was occupied by driving, and I decided to fast. I stopped eating and drinking everything for a couple of days. Admittedly, I did take a few swigs of water to throw back a few caffeine pills on the way because the headache was tremendous and it was a really, really long drive and I had to stay awake. But other than that, that was all I had. And I'm not saying this is the way you should do it, and I'm not even saying that this is the healthy way to do it. There are probably much better ways that were even more crazy than the way I did it, but that is how I did it. A little note about fasting. To some people, it seems like a scary thing or mysterious because they just don't know a lot about it. I hear things like reactions like, oh, that's dangerous. Or the other one I hear all the time is, I could never do that. You're wrong, but just know that we were designed to incorporate fasting into our way of life. Matthew 6:16 through 18 says, when you fast, do not look somber as the hypocrites do, for they disfigure their faces to show others they are fasting. Truly, I tell you, they've received their reward in full. But when you fast, again, put oil on your head and wash your face so that it will not be obvious to others that you're fasting, but only to your Father who is unseen, and your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. There's a lot to unpack there, and I'm not going to unpack it all, but the thing that I want to key in on is when you fast. The maker of your body and all things assumes that you fast regularly. because he designed your body for this. Fasting is a reset button for me, mentally, physically, and spiritually. It's a powerful tool, and it will serve you well to practice using it and to learn to leverage it. So what have I replaced my Diet Coke with? Well, first off, imagine this, water. Probably the first ingredient in the Diet Coke. I replaced it with just that. I know, it sounds so mid, but I was hydrating all day and water was never a thing. Like, I mean, when I say I was hydrating, I wasn't hydrating. I was drinking Diet Coke all day and not drinking water at all. But I do drink water now. I also brew kombucha and have that as a treat almost daily, like little glass, a little bit. Not a gallon of it. I'm not like guzzling it like in bucket full like I did back then with Diet Coke. It's become a stand-in for like a glass of wine for me, which is another topic entirely that, again, I should go into on another occasion. I do like the feeling of having something that's not water with a meal, or something that feels a little elevated. I do feel like, I feel bougie having my little wine glass filled with my amber-colored fizzy drink just effervescing in my hand. In the end, the changes that I've experienced have been profound. The first and noticeable difference in this one is it's a game changer. Game changer. Appetite correction. If you've never heard that term, basically you've probably heard hangry. Appetite correction is the opposite of hangry. You'll never be hangry again if you can correct your appetite. And first step to correcting your appetite, get rid of the fake foods. Get rid of the soda. I don't crave non-foods anymore. I don't even eat them, except on just a very rare occasion, like a birthday or some kind of celebration, and that's huge, huge. I'm less moody in general. I'm kind of a moody person to begin with, but it's not as bad. And definitely way more in control of my own impulses. And then here's the funny thing. Turns out I actually hate the taste of Diet Coke. It finally tastes like exactly what it is. It's a chemical cocktail that I'm pretty sure tastes more like antifreeze than it does something that resembles an actual beverage intended for human consumption. But my message is simple. I quit. You should too. Ta-da.